Ladies and gentlemen, this video message is intended to clarify my position on the charge of defaming religious symbols brought against me yesterday. But before that, I would like to add my voice with others who stood up against hate and took clear stances in calling for the elimination of racism and all forms of discrimination. Today, we observe the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. It is a day for all of us as global citizens to renew our commitment towards building a world of justice and equality where discrimination and bigotry does not exist. We should all work hands in hand to eradicate all forms of discrimination, teach tolerance and respect for diversity everywhere and for all. Lasting peace in Bahrain can only be built on the basis of equal citizenship, on the premise that all Bahrainis have equal rights and dignity, regardless of religion or sect, regardless of ethnicity, gender, or even social or economic background. Bahrain is a signatory of the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination since 1990, and it is expected to take measures to review governmental policies and practices that entail any form of distinction, exclusion, restriction, or preference based on color, race, ethnicity, or sect. All Bahrainis deserve to enjoy equal citizenship and equal footing of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Now, I'd like to move on to the ridiculous charge of defaming religious symbols brought against me yesterday. As an international interfaith activist for more than a decade, I've been promoting mutual respect and understanding among different religious and cultural groups around the world. I have been dedicated as well to promote respect of peaceful religious symbols of all religions. It is my profound belief that we must protect believers, all believers, against discrimination and violence. The human rights emphasis should be given to the protection of believers rather than the protection of belief, whilst defending the right of individuals and groups to publicly or privately manifest their religion or belief in teaching, advocacy, practice, worship, and observance. The charge brought against me is a clear example of the dangers embedded in blasphemy and defamation laws in Bahrain. Amid political unrest, these laws can only be used as a tool to further entrench political, social, and religious divisions and punish reformists calling for democracy and respect of international human rights. Article 309 of the Bahrain Penal Code states that a punishment for a period not exceeding 1 year and a fine of 100 dinars shall be inflicted upon any person who commits an offense by any method of expression which is regarded as an insult against religious symbols. There is no clear agreement in international human rights laws as to who are the religious figures or symbols that ought to be protected or not. This is an open door to abuse, especially in countries that witness conflict and unfortunate sectarian divides. The Rabat Plan of Action regards blasphemy laws as counterproductive since they may result in the de facto censure of all interreligious and intra-religious dialogue and debate, which is regarded as constructive, healthy, and required for the well-being of societies. In addition, many of these blasphemy laws provide different levels of protection to different religions and different sects, and have often been applied in a discriminatory manner. There are numerous clear examples of how these laws are implemented in Bahrain in a discriminatory manner. Although this is my public opinion on blasphemy laws, the charge brought against me is baseless and fails to meet the requirements of local legality. In all my statements, I did not defame any religious symbols, although I have been constantly outspoken about distorted religious interpretations that are legitimizing massive violence in the region, including massacres, slavery, genocides, ethnic cleansing. And these mass atrocities are unfortunately committed in the name of religion. They are justified by references to religious scholars and figures. Terrorist organizations have repeatedly used religious interpretations and fatwas to justify the massive abuses they are committing against people of all faiths and sects. I truly believe it is a sacred role at this critical stage in history to take a courageous stance in defending universal human rights, countering violent extremism, and diffusing sectarian tensions in the region, countering the advocacy of hatred that constitutes incitement to violence, discrimination, and extreme hostility. So I'm willing to stand by this sacred cause, whatever the result of that stance may be. Thank you for your continuous support for human rights and democracy in Bahrain. Thank you.